Hello friends, Solid Jake here, and Blizzard just put out another patch for Heroes of the Storm. They're starting to do this relatively frequently, do these kind of essentially weekly patches with a lot of small changes to push the game in a better and better direction. Every time they've done these patches, the game has become exponentially better in my opinion. We're starting to see greater diversity in terms of heroes that are played and viable at the highest level, and they're also opening up new playstyles for a variety of heroes. So this week's patch just came out. Let's take a look and see exactly what they've done. At the top, we have a list here of all the heroes that are being changed. Falstad, Jaina, Kael'thas, Nova, Thrall, a lot of assassins getting some changes. Rayguard, people have been saying that he's the #1 hero in the game right now. Gonna get some changes as well. So right off the bat, we see that Falstad's boomerang is getting a bit of a buff, and this is probably largely due to the fact that when it comes to Falstad, generally speaking, we see an auto attack style almost every single time when he's played at competitive and at the highest level. I'm not sure what the stats look like in terms of his talent pickups at across the board, but regardless, this makes Spellcaster Falstad a little bit more viable. On top of that, they're giving Hinterland's Blast a good chunk, a bit of more damage. It's already still kind of weak though, and in the last patch, they've really upped the cooldown on that ability. So they're probably just kind of saying, look, we need to make that Mage Falstad. They're even saying, look, we would like to make Mage Falstad a bit more powerful. So AP Falstad, maybe this is enough to make it, a little bit more viable. Some testing required for sure. Not really sure how Hinterland's Blast is going to feel. Of course, Falstad does not have Gathering Power, so we can't really do those big burst plays. But maybe with Boomerang and Hinterland's Blast paired together, we could see something happen. Definitely a good change in the right direction for Falstad. Jaina, they're also just kind of making her feel a little bit more like a mage. Now, Jaina actually has surprisingly powerful auto attacks, but no more. They're nerfing her auto attacks significantly from 89 to 60. That is a huge nerf to that. And this is kind of similar to Li Ming. Li Ming has really weak auto attacks. I believe her auto attacks do 59 at base. So they're making Jaina a little bit closer to what Li Ming is, and then they're buffing her spells. So this is, when you see a mage, you expect their spells to be the most powerful part of that hero, and this is just kind of pushing her more in that direction. Her autos will now be rather weak, and her spell power, Frostbolt is getting a big buff, so you're going to see those Frostbolts really chunking people down. And Frostbolt style on Jaina, like the machine gun build where you get Pierce on Frostbolt and you get Icy Veins at level 13, that is going to be monstrously powerful now. Like, you're going to see Jaina just absolutely ripping through people. This is her going up, up, up. In the viability of hero pools, her single target damage is amazing. When you think about her fighting in Immortal or base racing or anything in those kind of scenarios where she just needs a lot of single target damage, Frostbolt build is going to be very, very good. They're also buffing Cone of Cold. Not as big of a buff, but it's still a nice buff for her. So just in general, this is really good for Jaina. We're starting to pull basic attack damage out of characters who don't rely upon it. Jaina, Kael'thas. See, they're tuning them to be much more like what Li Ming is. Very powerful ability power heroes, and not at all about the auto attack. And it's actually interesting because Kael'thas actually has an even stronger auto attack than Jaina at base. And both of them are not horrendous targets for Stim Drone. Now they will be. If they're nerfing their autos, if you ever see a Stim Drone in Kael'thas, it's like you can shrug it off and say, all right, well, I guess their auto attack hero wasn't available for this scenario, so they put it on Kael'thas just to get it in the fight. But now if you ever see it go down in Kael'thas, just no, it's not worth the cooldown ever. Kael'thas, okay, so he was actually a little bit lower. I knew they were very close. He's 87 at the basic, and he's going down to 65. So he's not getting nerfed quite as much as her. His autos will still hit a little bit harder, but that's not really the big nerf to Kael'thas. Kael'thas is getting a lot of changes, and people like to say that Chain Bomb should be the thing that's changed the most, but Arcane Barrier has always been way too powerful. Late game, he just gets 4,000 shield, it seems, and he's just basically invincible. And they're nerfing that significantly. So not only is the amount going down from 200% to 150% of your mana, but they're also going to be reducing that duration from 6 to 4 seconds. So it is a sizable nerf to a sustain in the late game, and they're nerfing the stun. They're pretty much getting rid of 1.5 second stuns in the game, it seems. They're bringing the stun from 1.5 seconds down to 1 second. Very big nerf here to Gravity Lapse. Very big nerf to Kael'thas in general. Phoenix is getting an additional 20 seconds. I mean, you see Phoenix is thrown down just about every situation, from picking up a bruiser camp to throwing it down in a fort to pushing out a wave of minions on Tomb of the Spider Queen when that wave is so big. So this nerf, putting up to a full minute, is going to really force that Kael'thas player to think, you know, a little bit more conservatively when they use that ability, because a full minute cooldown is much more sizable. On top of that, they're giving Kael'thas the Falstad treatment, where they're making Pyroblast a supposed like playmaker heroic. So they're doubling the cooldown. They are doubling the cooldown to 100 seconds. But they're making it so it's massively powerful. 810 damage is a lot. Single target that splashes around it, and then it will gain 5% per level, up from 4%. This is going to be quite good against certain compositions that really can't sustain through it, but it's still going to be very weak against heroes that have things like Ice Block that can just negate it, and so on and so forth. So it's definitely an interesting change. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Will it be good against a medic that doesn't have her shield ready? Possibly. You know, it's not something she can run away from. She can't heal herself. If the shield is off cooldown, she could be a sitting duck in a lot of situations where this pyro is coming out. We'll see. But I do like this direction of what Blizzard's doing, of just trying to take an ability, raise the cooldown, but raise the effectiveness of it, so heroics feel really, really cool when they're used. They feel really impactful. Personally, I kind of wish Pyroblast like traveled twice as fast and was a skill shot that did ridiculous damage. So, you know, sending a Pyroblast long range through a wall and killing someone would be really cool. The whole slow ball chasing you, and that you can't run away from it's predictable. It's just, is it going to kill them or not? And it doesn't feel that exciting to watch, in my opinion, but that's purely from a esports spectator perspective in the game. So they're talking that he has a few downsides. We're nerfing several aspects of the kit and planning a talent overhaul coming soon. Oh, man. The stun duration of G-Lapse no longer guarantees kills. Reducing the stun makes the duration a lot less frustrating to play against. Yeah, that's smart. Phoenix drastically favored heroic ability right now, so they're trying to change that. This is, I mean, honestly, I think the changes to Jaina and Kael'thas in a lot of ways makes Jaina go way above Kael'thas, just because that Frostbolt build is going to be so very good for brawling, and Kael'thas saw some pretty sizable nerfs. Nova, I mean, you've seen the community. Everybody is well aware of how badly Nova was nerfed in this last patch, and they're giving Snipe a good bit of love. I think this is close to where it was before. I'm not certain, to be honest, though. And they've just bumped up Snipe, so Snipe's going to hurt a lot again. And this Snipe Master talent is now insane. The stacks have gone down to 5, so you no longer can get 10 stacks. So it's not as punishing if you miss your snipe. Every time you land a snipe, you get 12% more power. So up to 60% total. If you land 5 snipes in a row, your snipes are absolutely ferocious. And, and she still is going to have good talent diversity, I think. And this is going to make her snipe build really, really, really painful if you do, in fact, end up going for Snipe Master. I'm excited to see what people can do with that, and I hope that's enough to bring Nova back to a position where she is playable. Thrall is receiving a bit of a nerf on his basic attacks. He does hit very hard, and they're nerfing Sundering as well. So I don't know if this is going to hurt Thrall enough. It definitely isn't good, but he's still so heavily valued as a safe and powerful hero when it comes to laning. I think he'll be fine. He's still got a very good early game. He's going to be great in the lane. Sundering is phenomenal. That 10-second nerf doesn't make it... I mean, it makes it worse, but it's still a very good heroic. And, I think this is a pretty good change overall. He still has a lot of self-sustain, and Sundering is just... It's so good, even with an 80-second cooldown. It's still going to be a very good heroic. Rayguard. The Ray God. They're nerfing Feral Lunge. So he got this base. It used to be a talent, to get late game. And they're just taking it down to 75%. I think that's a good, nice, medium change. And they're nerfing the Lightning Shield damage a good bit as well. Taking out 6, and that ticks and ticks and ticks on you. So that's a sizable change to Lightning Shield. It's going to lower his lane clear capability. It's going to lower the power of the hero in general. Good start. Very good start for Rayguard Changes. Is it enough? He's still probably going to be the best support right now just because of how strong he is. But it's definitely some good changes in the right direction, especially only a week after the patch. I much prefer this over nerfing the hero down into oblivion. Diablo is quite a powerful bruiser, and it's all about the flame top. And it almost looks like they just want to take some damage out of Fire Devil. I don't know if this is really that impactful. I don't think it's going to hurt him that much. It seems weird because Diablo's doesn't stand out to me as like that #1 warrior in competitive, but when it comes to across the board, I think Diablo does have a very high win rate. And, you know, they're probably just kind of looking at that and tuning him. Oh, literally says that. We wanted to see how the Tyrande nerfs would impact him at first. As we know, those characters have very strong synergy together. We haven't seen much of the dip of Diablo's win rate, so we're targeting his must-pick talent with this nerf. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Lunar Jaina's legs will no longer separate from her body on endgame score screens. Okay, what? YouTube, if you guys have pictures of this happening, please, please, please send them to me because I have not been privileged enough to see that, and I feel like I'm missing out. That sounds hilarious. Dying will no longer cause players healing while cooldown to reset. Whoa! That can be big in some situations, especially early game. And, you know, Murky basically has infinite healing wells with that. Not that Murky needs healing wells that bad. Huh, I like that change, though. I like that change. Fix an issue that could cause Greymans, Gilnean Cocktail. Oh, yes, they fixed that bug. Very good. Very good to hear that Gilnean Cocktail was doing double damage with a level 1 talent Bullseye. Or Perfect Aim, excuse me, not Bullseye. So, good change. Good to see the fix has come through. Obviously, these patches have been very frequent. You guys are probably saying, where's the Li Ming nerf? They've tweeted out saying that they are looking at SF Johan, and they've tweeted out saying they don't want to rush into it. I'm personally okay with it for the most part. I think they're probably going over a few options, but she needs the nerf before the regional qualifiers end up happening, where Li Ming starts to become available in the official BlizzCon tournaments, because those tournaments have $100,000 prize pools for America and Europe. And Li Ming needs fixes before then because she's just going to end up being a perma-ban. SF Johan, they're looking at it. We'll see what they do to Li Ming. Let me know what you guys think they should do to Li Ming, what you think is the most OP part of her. And thanks for watching. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.